going on, guys? Today I've got a melee Magicka Templar build for you. This is a two-hand greatsword restoration staff build. It's like a battle mage type build. It's my favorite way to play. All of my builds you'll see, and I'll draw more in the future, but are going to be two-hand restoration, whether that's stamina or Magicka based. So if you're interested in the battle mage kind of play style, this build is definitely for you. And there's a lot of different variations you can use with it. And let's not waste any time. Let's just jump right into it. So first things first, we'll look at the character sheet. As you can see, kind of the very first thing that you notice, I have 30k health, 23k Magicka. You know, that may seem a little low. It's not. We have plenty of damage. Don't worry about that. 15k stamina is plenty enough. The 5.4k spell damage, that's literally just base. If we let's kind of buff up a little bit. Potion. You can see right here it's 6.4, and then with continuous attack, we'll get into that, but basically the spell damage can get over 7k, and then you also have close to 10k penetration as well, so it's a lot of damage. Even the 4.2k weapon damage, this is a Magicka build, but we have a two-hand greatsword, so our light attacks are scaling there, and it helps. It definitely helps. The resistance, as you can see, let's do that again. On the front bar, we have 22k spell resist, 19k physical, and then your standard 15 crit resist, 1500. On the back bar is going to be more 25, 22, and that's when we're in our rune. When we walk out, we got 25, 22, and then 22, 19. So decent resists. It could be better if we added a couple different sets, and I'll get into that when we do talk about the sets, but like I said, this build doesn't lack for much as it is, and I've been running this setup for a long time, with a few tweaks here and there. Back to the main stats though, as you can see, I've got 26 points into health. Now that is solely to get that 30k health pool. I do this on all of my characters. Back in the day, I used to be fine like anywhere from 25. If I got 25k health, I was good. But nowadays, the last year or two, I've been really trying to push 30k, and now I make it a priority to literally get 30k on every build. So yeah, 30k health. That's why I've got the 26 in there, and then you just dump the rest into Magicka. The Magicka pool, like I said, it seems low, but with our food, our sets and stuff, the way we're running it, it works out fine. So I think that's about it as far as that goes. Okay, so I do want to talk about this. You can see my food. We can get a little bit into that when we do talk about the sets and stuff, but Orzorga smoked bear haunch, this is one of the best foods out there. It's also one of the most expensive. This is going to increase your max health and then give you all of the recoveries. So if you wanted, you could actually go for Bewitched Sugar Skulls. That's going to give you max Magicka, max stamina, max health. Technically, I think since it's raising your mag pool, it would give you a little bit more damage. But like I said, we're fine on damage. I like the recovery. That's why we're going with this. The Apprentice, I recently just swapped this, and this has been feeling good. Now, I used to run the Steed on every single one of my builds. You got plus 10% movement speed, you got health recovery, but the health recovery was nerfed, I think, a few patches ago, so not as good. And then they also added Celerity, which is a movement speed passive, into the champion points. So now we take that, and it allowed me to drop the Steed on all my builds, so now I go for Apprentice on Magicka builds, Warrior on Stamina builds for more damage on both. And you can see, yeah, it's giving us 302 spell damage, so really nice right there. Let's jump into the sets. Sorry about that, my dog likes to bark at basically just about anything. Let me see. Okay, sets. First and foremost, I am running New Moon Acolyte, and this is on the front bar only. you can see I do have these poisons on. These are the Gold Coast draining poisons. I just threw them on because I got them out of a crate. It's actually pretty trolly. It's kind of toxic if you get into a 1v1 with these on. You increase the cost of whoever you're fighting, their stamina and magic abilities by 10%. And it gives you a little more sustain. These are really, really good. But most of the time, like I said, I'm not running these. I just threw them on because I had them. It's the... Oh. I've been running charged with a shock damage. Yeah, that's the shock damage glyph. Shock damage, if you hit someone with shock damage, it can cause concussed on them, which gives you 8% more damage against them. So that's what I've been messing with. I've also used Oblivion enchant. I do kind of like that. It feels pretty bursty. Yeah, and then we run our weapon damage on the back bar. But sharpened, I like sharpened. I used to use Nernhoned. Yeah, I don't know. They're both really good. I like sharpened though. And for New Moon, if you didn't know, this is what the set does. It's giving us our crit chance. It's giving us weapon and spell damage, penetration, and then 401 more spell damage when we are on our greatsword. It does increase the cost of your abilities, so it's a 5% increase. It's not, it's manageable, and it's only on the front bar, so that definitely helps. The back bar, we're running Restoration Staff of the Potentates. This is pretty basic. A lot of people have been running this for a long time. We've got defending trait. Powered is also good. I've used both. I like defending a little bit better. And then, yeah, our spell damage enchant is on the back bar here. So whenever we're on our back bar, we can light attack, get that spell damage, swap over, and then we're getting more. And then it translates to the front bar. Potentates, obviously, it's going to give you that 2 items, so let's go ahead and swap over to that. When you're on the back bar, basically you get an extra 3% damage reduction against enemy players. So really good for PvP. Anytime you're on your back bar, you have the extra 3,000 spell resist and physical resist. You also have 3% damage reduction. Pretty nice. Monster set, I'm still using Engine Guardian. And I'm using it on this build, and I still use it on my Stam Sork as well. But one thing you'll notice when I do drop a few more of my build videos, every build I have is 2-hand, Greatsword, Resto, but each one kind of has its own theme. So this character, Melee Magplar, his name is Luke Skywatch. I kind of like the Engine Guardian. This character is sort of built after Luke Skywalker, so the Engine Guardian reminds me a little bit of like R2-D2. Yeah, I'm kind of nerdy like that. I theme my builds, but it's giving you health recovery, which again, that doesn't really matter. It's the 2-piece that we're here for. Anytime you use an ability that costs resources, you have a 25% chance. And just let me get this out of the way. That 25% chance, it feels like it's literally like 90%. It's like every other ability I'm casting, this is popping up, so it is up all the time. But you summon a Dwemer automation, and it restores either stamina, magicka, or health to you. And it's really good. But the best part about it, it doesn't say on the stat sheet, it serves as kind of like a body block. I said that it's always up. It's up like 90% is probably a stretch, but it's up a lot. And when you're 1vxing, even just in a 1v1, they can hit your Engine Guardian. So it counts as a target when you're fighting other people. It's a really nice body block. It's good for, it's definitely good for my playstyle and kind of fighting outnumbered. So I like that on this build. If you wanted more damage, again, we've got plenty of damage, but if you wanted more, you could run Balorgs. You could run Balorgs. It's going to give you more damage. It's going to give you more penetration. I like Engine Guardian on this spec specifically. On our chest, you'll notice this is heavy, but it's again New Moon chest, Engine Guardian obviously on the shoulders, and then second set is Amber Plasm. So what Amber Plasm does, there you have it. It's giving us magic, it's giving us crit chance, it's giving us spell damage, and then it's giving us all 3 recoveries. So I've got that on 2 pieces here. Light hands, light waist, and then all 3 jewelry. And all 3 of our jewelry infuse spell damage. Now, a new set has recently came out called Wretched Vitality, and I think it is a better version of Amber Plasm. Plus, you can backbar it, run the Resto, and 3 jewelry. Or, well, not necessarily 3 jewelry, just run the Resto, and then backbarring it will give you the option to run a Mythic. So, if I was to change anything about this build, I think what I would do is I would put on Mark and Ring of Majesty, the Mythic, which I don't have. I don't have time to farm it right now. Eventually, I'll probably get it, but yeah, Mark and Ring of Majesty, Wretched Vitality on your back bar, New Moon front bar, and then you could, instead of Engine Guardian, again, I will always run Engine Guardian this build. This is a themed build for me. This is the way I like to do it, but Magma Incarnate is also a new monster set. It stacks really well with the Mark and Ring of Majesty. They both give you damage. They both give you resistances. So, yeah, if you wanted to update this build and make it basically as strong as possible, Magma Incarnate, Mark and Ring of Majesty, Wretched Vitality back bar, New Moon front bar, and I think it would be absolutely nasty. One thing I didn't go over was the weight of our armor. I'm using on this build, let's see, 1 heavy, 2 heavy, light, 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 medium, light. So it's 2 heavy, 1 medium, 2 heavy, 4 light on this particular build. For the trait, as you can see, it's all try and chance on everything. I like big, you know, we're not running max staff food, we're running the recovery food, so I like to get our pools as big as possible. And then on the traits, reinforced heavy, any heavy piece you usually want reinforced. So that's what we're doing on the chest and the legs, 2 reinforced. And then this is where it gets interesting. I used to always run impen on everything else, but lately I came across a video where they kind of went behind some of the math on impen, and I'm not sure that running more than just a couple pieces is worth it. So I've been testing this, and I like this a lot. Since I switched my boon, my Mundus Stone to spell damage, I've been running 3 divines on the traits. So I run 2 impen, 2 reinforced, 3 divines, and that 3 divines buffs that Mundus Stone, so that's what gives us that 300 extra spell damage there. I've been liking this a lot, and this is, unless anything changes, this is what I'm going to roll with because it's been working. So I know that was kind of all over the place, but hopefully that makes sense why I'm running what I'm running. And again, I do have some gameplay we'll get into a little bit after we go over the skills and the CP and stuff, but yeah, this is the sets. So let's dive into, okay, one more thing, sorry. Consumables. Again, I'm running Orzorga's Bear Haunch. I think this is best in slot. You could go for Bewitched. You could even go for the Clockwork Citrus Fillet, I believe. That would be good, but I think you need the stamina. You either need max stam or stamina recovery, because it's just too hard as a magic build. Especially 1vxing, you have to have enough stamina or stam recovery to be able to constantly break free, constantly sprint, constantly kite, constantly roll dodge. And that's hard for a magic build, so I definitely recommend getting a build or a food that gives you some kind of stamina buff. But yeah. For our potions, these are the basic ones I'm using. On a Magplar, there's no real way to get the, Major Sorcery, unless you're running Degen. I'm not using Degen, so I think these are the best in slot potions for the way I'm playing it. Now, if you wanted to swat, again, and obviously you can do anything you want. You can change this around however you want. You could put Degen on your bar and then run tripods. Whatever works for you. This is the way I like to do it, so this is what I run. I used to use these a little bit for movement speed, but with Race Against Time, I don't really need that as much. Yeah, so that's that. Just your basic Cyrodiil Alliance spell pots. So let's get into the skills. We're gonna start on our front bar here. This is basic puncturing sweep. You know Templar sweeps. That's your spammable. It's really good. It's super strong, and it also heals you. So I mean, this is like a no-brainer right here. It's really good. This is our spammable. Race against time. This is our movement. This is our minor force. So we're getting crit damage and movement speed, and it also is our snare removal. This skill is absolutely loaded. I use this on every single build, Magicka and Stamina. This skill's loaded right here. So this is I would say your flex spot. I run this because for a few reasons. One, like I've mentioned before, this is a themed kind of build. So I like, he's supposed to be a character, a light, he's like a light warrior. He's a Templar. So I feel like, you use this skill. I mean, look at it. It looks pretty sweet. And plus, we have kind of low stamina and Magicka pools. So you're running around. Let me zoom out. You're running around. You're roll dodging. It's gonna be kind of hard to. So you're healing, roll dodge, heal. See, we can roll dodge a lot in this build, but roll dodge. Okay, now look, we're out of resources, so you can kite, roll dodge again, kite, get behind a tree, boom. That's what this skill does. It's gonna give you more sustain. And usually, obviously I could sit here all day, but if you're fighting and you're outnumbered, it's gonna be a lot quicker. So I like to fight, I'm fighting, I'm jabbing. Once I get someone down, and then I'm getting low, I'm still getting hit by other people. Okay, boom, I killed him. Now I kite, I run, kind of line of sight, and then I do this for a little bit, and then boom, I'm right back in the fight. So that's kind of why I run this skill. Like I said, you could put degen there, and then instead of running the spell pots, you could run tripods instead. But for my playstyle, for open world, 1vx type situations, yeah, I like to have this to kind of reset a fight. Hopefully that makes sense there. Let's keep moving on. Power of the Light, this is a little controversial. I've been using this version. This is the stamina version, but I kind of like this version because it also, when you hit them with it, at the very bottom there you can see targets are also afflicted with minor breach, reducing their physical and spell resistance, and I don't have another way to get that debuff, so I really like this. The Magicka version is probably going to do a little more damage, but again, we're not hurting for damage, and when this thing pops, it still pops off for a lot. So this is basically buffing our jabs, it's buffing the rest of our damage because of that debuff. I think it's, I don't know. I haven't went back and tested the Magicka version, but I like the way this is performing, so I haven't messed with it. And then here's our stun. It also, I mean, this skill is so good. It's a gap closer, it's a stun, it sets them off balance. So I mean, you can't ask for much more. You really can't ask for much more. And then Crescent Sweep, our ultimate. It's cheap, it hits hard, and yeah, it just. Everything on this build, the sweeps, the stun, the ultimate, it all lines up really nice together. Alright, and so on the back bar, skills, nice and easy. We've got our cleanse with the ritual, well, let's see. Extended ritual removes a lot of effects, it's really good. It also is a nice heal. So if you stand in that, then our next skill, rapid regen. Those two together are really nice. And then our third skill, again, another heal, Honor the Dead. Big boy heal. And it also restores the cost of Magicka. It will heal anyone that's below 75%. So that includes ourselves, which is nice. Last skill, or second to last skill, Channel Focus. This is our resistance buff. It also gives us Magicka. If we stand in the rune, it also heals us. Again, this is a must-have. And then kind of another flex, but I always like to have a dot on my classes. yeah, it hits him for almost 4k at once, and then 12k over 16 seconds. You also get Major Prophecy, which increases your spell crit, so that is pretty nice. And then our ultimate on the back is going to be Light's Champion. You can use this defensively as well as offensively. So basically you use it defensively when you're low on health, super low, like you're about to die. There's a lot of people on you. Because this is going to heal you up to full, and it gives you Major Force for 8 seconds, increasing your crit damage. So basically you pop this, and then you can turn right back on them and burn them down. It's really nice. And then let's go into the... Well, first off, the rotation is basically you get buffed. I always start on this bar. I will hit him with the power of the light, go back, light attack, Vampire's Bane, the dot, come back in, race against time if you need to, stun them with your stun. So boom, you're on top of them, and then jab. Ultimate if you have it, and your power of the light will pop, and it's a lot of damage at once. Yeah. You'll see more of that in the gameplay down the line. And then champion points. Champion bar. So, start with the green. We have Rationer, Liquid Efficiency, Gifted Rider, Steed's Blessing. Those four are basically the best ones for PvP. On this one, Untamed Aggression, Ironclad, Biting Aura, Master at Arms. So I'm running 3 damage, 1 defense. I've been testing this lately and I've been liking it a lot. You could go for more defense and drop like Untamed, you don't really need, but again, I kind of stack spell damage and it feels good, so that's what I'm using. And on the red tree, finally, Celerity or movement speed, Relentlessness, Juggernaut, and Boundless Vitality. I've been testing Relentlessness and Juggernaut. I was using Fortified for extra armor, but these two are feeling pretty good right now too, so just kind of testing these. And that's basically about it. So we're gonna hop into the gameplay, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the build. And one thing I do want to mention too is this is I'm pretty sure you could get, like, if you don't have any of the expansions, you can still put this build together. I believe Amber Plasm is base game. Not 100% sure on that, but I believe it is. Engine Guardian base game. New Moon, of course, is craftable, so you can get someone to craft you that. So that's all you would really need is just some gold and get someone to craft you, or a guildie or something. But other than that, yeah, you don't really need an expansion for this. Alright, let's hop into the gameplay. Alright guys, we're going to hop into the PvP gameplay and do a little bit of commentary here. I do have the speed turned down to 0.8, that way we can slow down and just kind of talk about the rotation and what's happening. So here's a couple clips. This is just outside of Alicia. Like I said, I didn't spend a whole lot of time. I literally just, it was like 11 a.m. I came out and I got these clips today, so not like a huge 1vx or anything crazy in this clip, just some normal things, some normal fights. So let me go ahead and restart this. So I buff up, get ready, go into the stun, power light, ultimate, and then jab, 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 dead. So normally he was putting some pressure on me. Like look right here, both of our health bars are down, but I could tell I was putting so much pressure on him. Normally, if my health bar gets this low, I'm gonna flip to my back bar, go defensive, get my rapid regen up, heal, do everything I need to do to get back in the fight. But I could tell I was putting so much pressure on him that I just needed to stick with it and kind of finish the kill, which proved to be the right call in that situation. Looked like he was trying to do the same thing. So let's go ahead and scroll to the next fight. Okay, so here, zoom out. Me and this guy here were kind of letting each other 1v1 out front of Alessia. And this guy I'm fighting here, you can see he had over 40k health. Mind you, all of these fights we're fighting blue, and blue had emp bonus this entire time. So keep that in mind. All the people we fight do have an extra 2k health, and this build is still, you know, putting up a really solid fight against them. This guy in particular had over 40k. I don't know what his build was. It was some kind of weird tanky, I don't know. But you can see our build kind of just melt. To be fair, now that I'm watching this back, I mean, you see this guy, he's kind of just like bashing like a maniac. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He's CP 1289, so like, I don't know. Who knows what was going on there. Same guy here, 43k health. Hard light, stun, ultimate, jab. Hard light again. Stun this guy, hard light, ultimate. Now I did start taking some crazy AoEs. I don't know if they were, what all that damage was. Now this guy had been trying to gank us non-stop, so I was really trying to force him down. This is one of the longer fights. This guy did have a good burst combo, so that's how you have to play gameplay. As soon as they hit you, you go defensive, heal back up, hit him with the dot, stun, ultimate, jabs. He burst it out up in hell. I don't even know how he's alive still at this point. We both kind of get stuck on this tree here. It's kind of a weird spot. He's just running around it, literally trying to. As you can tell, I mean, other than his full-on burst combo, I never really felt too pressured. So I was just staying on offense the whole time, and then we're gonna get a nice power light right here. Bang it, explode. Thank you, God. And this last clip here is. Kind of shows you can kind of deal with some unnumbered situations or outnumbered situations. So I'm gonna gank number one, same guy. And I'm gonna get that same 43k health guy. Get back on top of this in a second. So I've got both guys focused on me. I'm just trying to put the combo into the gameplay. And I'm not even like LOSing. See, I noticed that while I was in the middle of the field, I run back to this tree. I try and get some LOS. And I unleash the combo. He goes down. And we just heal up, reset. And you can see my friend here, he jumps in and helps me finish him off. But again, it was the same guy I had 1v1 multiple times already. The 43k health, so I would have taken him down easily. So yeah, so that's just a little 2v1. And yeah, that's pretty much the clips. Like I said, I've played on this character for literally years. I mean, 4 or 5 years I've had this character. I've never really got into recording or YouTube or anything until just recently. So yeah, I'll try and be putting out some more footage. This build is capable of a lot more than I guess what you kind of see here. I mean, this gives you a good idea. But it really does perform well, kind of outnumbered, and especially if you're in like a group of 2 or 3, it's even better. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've got, like I said, I play 2-hand Resto battle mage style builds, and I'll definitely be uploading some more. So be on the lookout for. I've got a mag blade. That's probably my, like, Magplar and Magblade are my 2 mains, I would say. But Stam Necro, Stam Sork, Mag DK, Mag Warden, Stam Warden. I feel like I'm missing one, but you get the point. So, yep, be on the lookout, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video.